Hello, everybody. So, today we're going to talk about what you need to do before you start investing. We've already talked about why you might choose to invest and how you might choose to start investing. But today is more of like the planning stage. Like, after you've decided why and how, what are the next steps you need to take before you actually take the leap? Starting with goals is something that I always thought was, like, super cheesy, right? It was something that I was like, nobody really does that. I mean, maybe if you're like a CEO, having goals is awesome. But now that I'm actually an agent and I'm doing things that are important for me to achieve, I'm not on an hourly wage. I'm on something where it's like my effort is how I get paid. And so, it's important for me to have goals not only in my mind, but written out on paper. In my office, I always have my goals written out on a door that I open daily. And so they're always right there. They're always looking at me as much as I'm looking at them, right? And it's important to me. I want to have that why in my face all the time. So when I'm going through a tough time, whether that's just, emotional ups and downs or, haven't got a check in a little while, I always have my goals there reminding me what I'm trying to achieve, showing my daughters that it's so important to be a strong person and work through the tough times and know that just because you have a slowdown doesn't mean you're a failure. That's important to me. And so having those goals written out, and that why, like you read in a lot of personal development books and, business strategy books and everything, have that why in front of you. Um, and within that why, you want to have SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific. You're going to say exactly what you want. Measurable. So you're going to be able to, after a week or a month or a year or 5 years even, you're going to be able to measure that and say, okay, I did this much. Did I achieve my goal? What could I do to better lean towards that goal? It needs to be achievable. So, it's always good to follow that parable or whatever, aim for the stars, reach the moon, right? Well, you want to be able to actually achieve that goal or at least get close to that goal. It's nice to push a little bit, but you also want to do something that's achievable. You don't want to discourage yourself down the road. It's got to be relevant. So it can't be like, something that's way out of left field. You want to be doing something that you're going to be able to put effort in towards that every single day. Um, and it's going to be timed. It's going to be something where, like I said, after a year, 5 years, a week, even, you're going to want to go back and be able to make sure that you can look at that and say, okay, I did not achieve my goal. Here's what I'm going to do to try to achieve it in a different way. Or is there, something that maybe I just need an extra week? Maybe I only give myself a week. Maybe I need two. And you're going to be able to take a look at that and reflect and do better. Now that you have your goals written out and in place, so the next thing you want to do is make sure you have a good team set up. Having a good team is ensured you're being guided in the right way for your goals. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest you do is find yourself a mentor or coach. I'm very lucky. My managing broker is an amazing human, and I can go to her for anything personally and professionally, and she's just absolutely amazing in guiding me in the correct way, and in a way that suits my needs. She's very upfront and very honest, and something that's important to me. That might not be for everybody, though. People might want people who are a little bit more sensitive to guide them. I like the bluntness. I like that I don't have to question what she's thinking. I don't have to question anything. She's very upfront. But once again, there are going to be people that are going to meet your needs and your goals. And those people are going to, you're going to want to test drive a couple different people to make sure that they are the kind of people who communicate in the way that's the best for you, that's going to be most effective to in getting you towards your goals. The next person you're going to want to find is a real estate agent. It's important to have somebody who knows about investing and can guide you in a way that, if you're new to this, they might have specific tools that'll work great for the type of investing that you want to do. You're also going to want to find a lender. You're going to want a lender that is has many tools in their toolbox. So if you're doing your first, house hack, then you're going to want to have somebody who knows about that and knows what you're going to need in order to get to that point. And then after that, somebody you can grow with. You're also going to, most people anyway, will want to find a property manager. That way it's very hands off. It's basically passive income, something that as your number of properties grows, they're going to be able to handle that. A tax strategist is a very important member of your team. Tax strategist you're going to want to find somebody who specializes in investing. They're going to help you keep more money in your pocket legally. That's the most important part. Okay. Having an attorney is also awesome. They're going to be able to help you shield you from, liability. We all, if you're anything like me anyway, I am very uh, set that people are all good at heart, right? Well, I've been told that that's not always the case. And, if somebody gets a little too happy and stuff, having yourself shielded from that, protecting properties from one another. If one's sued, then, you can still have the rest of your properties. A good attorney will help you, protect all of your assets, whatever they may be. Um, Contractors are definitely somebody you're going to want to have on your team. You're going to want to know somebody that you can trust to do repairs in a way that, is good quality. You don't want somebody who's going to be doing poor work on something that you're putting your life and your effort and your energy into. And the last person that not many people think about is a good insurance agent or insurance broker. They're going to, be somebody who you're going to be going to for all of your properties in order to protect them in case of emergency. So, getting a good team together is something that can make or break a business. So, interviewing multiple people and finding the person that not only suits your personality type, but also suits your business needs, that's going to be very important. I just want to have some real talk at the end of this. Like, real estate investing is something that is absolutely rewarding. I have talked to many investors who are just, doing amazing things for themselves and for their family and for the future. But it's also something that it's not going to be for everybody. It is big risk, big reward. And since that's something to think about, when you are getting into real estate, some things people might not think about is you're going to need systems for tracking maintenance, expenses, all that. You need systems in place to take care of this stuff and have it ready when you need it. You're also going to need reserves. You're going to need a new roof someday. You're going to be in the middle of the night fixing that toilet. You're going to be, taking on some big expenses at some point. Houses aren't always, the cheapest things to maintain. You've got roofs, walls, sidewalks, driveways, all that kind of stuff. And if something goes wrong, then you need to be able to have the reserves to fix it. You also need math skills. I know, I said it, you do. It's true. You got to be able to calculate ROI, cash flow, all these different things that we'll talk about in future videos, I promise. But they're things that you need to be able to do. There are many calculators, and I do have those available. But they're just things to think about. And also, gonna need to talk to some people. I know that can be a big thing for people these days, is actually going out and having a conversation. But when you're building those teams, especially finding the people that are going to suit your needs best, asking the right questions, avoiding other questions that people might be able to work around. Like, getting yourself the right team is a very important thing. And so these are things that I just want people to think about before they go ahead and jump in. And, if you have questions or comments about anything, make sure you drop that below in the comments and let me know, and we'll have a discussion. I love to learn from other people. Like I said in previous videos, I myself have not started investing yet. So I love to get feedback from other people. And I do talk to a lot of investors. I'm in regular contact with them at any given time. So I love real feedback from real people. So let me know. Thank you so much for coming on by today. If you have any questions at all, like I said, please feel free to drop below in the comments. If you have anything that came up, while we were going over goals, teams, or just having a conversation, definitely feel free to reach out. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.